Hey guys, welcome back to the newest episode of the Lounge Life podcast. I am your host, Rob. And with me tonight, once again, is Big Al. What's up, Al?
Hey, how's it going?
Tonight, we have a super special episode. Um, we're talking cigars with one of the faces of Drew Estate. You know him, you love him. He's the best. And we are talking to none other than Pedro Gomez. Um, Honestly, he is the guy when it comes to Drew Estate. I mean, you know Jonathan, you know Willie, uh, all these guys,
Easy.
but Izzy, yeah, I can't forget Izzy. But you know what? Pedro's the guy when it comes to the energy and the lifeblood of all these Drew Estate events. So we got him coming up real soon. But we have to do a few things first. And first, let me tell you to please like and subscribe to the channel. Um, it makes a huge world of difference. Find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube, watch our videos, like us, subscribe to us. We love you guys who are already supporting us. Tell your people about us if you haven't told anybody about us, because we're just the coolest. So that's just the way it
Don't,
goes.
don't forget to turn on your notifications. We are also on audio only on Apple
Oh yeah.
Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah, Apple Podcast and Spotify as well for audio only. So we'd also like to take a minute to thank our partners on our show. Um, we have Valor Cigar Accessories, maker of some of the most amazing cutters and cigar carry cases on the market, made in Texas, and 10% of all the proceeds from the sale go back to first responder and military charities. So we help our troops and our first responders with everything that you buy from them. Find them on they have an Etsy page, so find them on Etsy. And yeah, they're fantastic. Some of the coolest stuff. And then we'd like to thank Bullets and Brave, who have done some of the most awesome customized work in the world. They make cigar stands. They've done cups for us. They've done hats. They do all kinds of crazy things. Um, so uh, look out for the stuff they put out as well. And then also, we'd like to thank one of our newest partners to the game, and that is Badass Beard Care Products. These guys, uh, again, another company that gives back to charity and are, you know, American made products. I love them. I usually itch. My face itches like crazy when I don't use the stuff. And, their oils has been one of the best oils that I've used on the market currently. So please don't fear the beard. Go check them out. They have badassbeardcareproducts.com, and that's where you find them on the internet. So now that we've uh, thanked all of our sponsors, what can we look for first? What do you think we should start with, Al?
The Rapper Report.
Yeah, we'll start with the Rapper Report. So, the Rapper Report is brought to you today by Valor Cigar Accessories. So, what do you have for us for the Rapper Report, Al?
Well, a highly anticipated LE has shipped. It
Okay.
is Highclere Castle Signature for 2025. And it is by Foundation Cigars. Um, and it is shipping to stores. It is a 6 3/4 by 52 Perfecto, made up of Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, covering a Brazilian Modafina binder, and an
Mhm.
undisclosed filler blend that includes tobaccos that have been aged for 3 years.
Fantastic. Sounds like
Like
I'd like it.
I imagine you would. And like the previous releases, it's produced at Tabacalera AJ Fernandez Cigars de Nicaragua.
Hmm.
It carries an MSRP of $33, and the production, of course, is limited to 8,400 cigars packaged in 12 count boxes. Now, it comes with one of the coolest boxes I think I've ever seen.
Yep.
The box is made to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb. And of course, one of those archaeologists was George Herbert, who lived. He was the fifth Earl of Carnarvon, and his home was Highclere Castle. So, and the let's see, there it is. The box is um, it's a replica of a storage box found in the tomb. Other than the addition of the Highclere Castle being translated in ancient hieroglyphics and inscribed on the facing of the box.
Yeah. It's definitely a fantastic cigar.
So, and you know, it's hard to find one of Mr. Melillo's cigars that isn't a banger.
Yeah. If you can find it, buy it because they're a yearly release, correct?
Yes,
They're only a yearly release during the month of October. And then I think November comes the other one. The Night Commander is the November release.
gotcha. So, what is your news story?
So my news is more like be on the lookout than news, because it hasn't been officially announced yet, but it's been posted on the internet. The company Warped, who is owned by Kyle Gellis and is run out of Tabacalera La Isla in the DR, um, posted a picture on his Instagram feed this week that was kind of interesting. He's kind of doing the same. I'm not going to say the same thing, but he's following a lot of what other cigar brands are now doing, and they're creating like little. I would call them like little dog walkers of their big brands. So I know this past year, I know CAO, the Amazon Basin brought out the daggers, which were like tiny, the little tiny Amazon basins. It's the same blend, just like a shrunk down 4.5 by whatever. So, like I said, Warped has put out on their website, or not their website, I should say, their Instagram, a picture of Kyle Gellis or somebody holding a lighter with a little dog walker of the Isla de Cocodrillo, and they're said they're going to be calling it Croc Bites. And so it's going to be a 4.5 by 45 box press petite torpedo. So like I said, it's going to be like a little dog walker of the bigger sticks that they have. And there's been no information given with it. It's only that it's forthcoming. And we don't know if the blend is changing, but if it's following the suit as everybody else is, it's not going to be a blend change. I mean, the blend is going to change a little bit with the scale down of the Vitola, but it's going to still be a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper with dual Ecuadorian Habano and Brazilian Arapiraca binders, and then fillers from Nicaragua. So um, it's it's fantastic. I loved the Isla de Cocodrillo that they brought out. So we'll see if this follows suit with everybody else's, I would say, dog walkers. I hate putting it that way, but I call them dog walkers because you can go and walk your dog and smoke one of these things and be done by the end of it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's
You,
my
you
little
hate
bit
to
of
call
news
it
I
a
have.
you hate to call it a cigarello.
Yeah, it's definitely not a cigarette. It's not that skinny. It's not that small. Yeah. They're a little fat. They have a little bit of substance behind them, not just a cigarillo. So, um, but yeah, so that's been the news for today. And the news is brought to you by Valor Cigar Accessories. Now, that brings us to what's in the ashtray. And it's where we go over, what we've smoked in the last couple weeks. Um, and what's in the ashtray is brought to you by Bolts and Brave. And what did you smoke that was notable or not notable this last couple weeks there, my friend?
Well, on the good side of the spectrum, I smoked the Upsetters
Okay.
from Foundation Cigars, the Zola. Um, and I have to admit, it's one of the few infused cigars that um, I still enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, it is a Maduro wrapper, Nicaraguan binder with Nicaraguan and Jamaican filler. Um, so it is a medium to full infused slash sweet. And Rob and I were talking about it, and as he said, it gives off a room note, very pleasant smell,
Hmm.
um, but doesn't,
Not overly sweet either.
right. It's not too sweet, or overly infused. So, it is a very solid smoke, and one
Yep.
I enjoyed profusely.
That's good.
So, what have you enjoyed or not enjoyed?
So, uh, yeah. So a couple of years ago, um, Eric Drazen from Oakland Tobacconist brought out his Halloween cigars. They come out with Halloween cigars every year, and their 2023 offering was called the Renfield, and it was a one time blend. It was a thin Toro. It was like a 6x48 like box press. Um, so what he decided to do this year was re-release the Renfield with the same blend in a new Vitola, which is kind of cool. It kind of looks like the Foundation. We've been talking to Foundation a lot, apparently. So it looks kind of like the Foundation 1810, the special event cigar, because it's a box press perfecto, which is kind of neat. It's a 6x54 perfecto, so it's pretty much the exact same size. Um, it's like wide and fat and kind of skinny on one side, but it's really nice. It Like I said, um it carries the same blend as the old one did, which is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper with Criollo 98 binder and mixed Nicaraguan fillers. Um it's just a really hearty, dark, kind of sweet dark tobacco chocolatey cigar. I mean, it really is just a pleasure to smoke. And unfortunately, if you didn't already get your Renfield remastered, I don't think you can get them anymore because they sold out in a day. So unfortunately, by the time this is released, you already have missed the boat on this cigar. He may re-release it in a pack. He may hold some back for like a sampler pack. He may bring it out in a little bit of a sampler pack next year. But you're gonna have to wait till next year because his allotment that he let go for this year is sold out already. Um, I do know the factory. Unfortunately, I was sworn to secrecy on who the factory that made it was. So we're not going to divulge that information because he asked me nicely not to. Um, so we're gonna keep that on the down low. But yeah, it was really good. It had some really, like I said, it's oaky espresso, dark chocolate, cinnamon. It really was a delicious dark cigar. That's like a really nice dark Maduro at the end of the night. So if you pick them up, consider yourself lucky because these are fantastic. And yeah, Those who didn't missed out, unfortunately, until some become available. So
Yeah, that
that's
was one I was trying to wait on payday and unfortunately missed out.
yeah. Well, the good thing is I bought a 5 pack, so I can send you one at least.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll take care of you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So but yeah, now that we've so what's in the ashtray has been brought to you by Bullets and Brave, makers of fine customizable goodies. So check them out. They can, if you need stuff customized, reach out to them and they'll hook you guys up. So yeah, now that we got that squared away, we are on to our main event. Honestly, this guy's a freaking legend. He's fantastic. He is at high energy. He is the face of Drew Estate. Um, and I'm about to bring him on now. So I'm bringing on Pedro Gomez from Drew Estate. Pedro, sir, thank you so
My man.
much for joining us tonight on the Lounge Life podcast. I appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Thank you so very much, Robert and Big Al, for having me on your show. First of all, on behalf of Drew Estate, we want to say to all your audience that listen to your beautiful podcast, thank you so very much. The Lounge Live podcast, we are going hard with you guys. You guys are the best, and you guys are creating amazing content. And for
We
us, it's a
try.
big deal to be with all of you guys. So, on behalf of Drew Estate, right here in the United States and Nicaragua, the factory, most importantly, thank you so very much for everything that you guys do.
Thank you so much, Pedro. It means a lot coming from you guys, especially one of the big giants of the company, because it Drew Estate um, is not a small company by any source of the means. So from such a big company, it means a lot coming from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very
Um,
much, man.
yeah, so let's get into it. So tell everybody how you first got involved with Drew Estate. So where's your origin story at?
Yes. Well, first of all, when it comes to Drew Stay, yeah, we are hidden there, but from the way that I see and for the way that everybody see a Drew Stay, we are always trying to give our best.
Yeah.
Because once you find the comfort zone and you think that you are one of the biggest player, that doesn't that doesn't last too long. So for
Okay.
us, we're still grinding like it is day one. So
Yep.
myself, I'm from Estelí, Nicaragua. I was born and raised in Estelí, Nicaragua, and I
Mm-hmm.
joined Drew Estate in 2006. Before Drew
Okay.
Estate, I was a saddle maker in my hometown, and I was making saddles for I would say like 10 years. So
Okay.
while going to school, making saddles, that's how I could finish my school in Estelí. Then I applied for a full scholarship, and thank God, because God is the best. Around 300 students from Nicaragua in 2004.
Okay.
They pick only two people, two students, and I was one of them. So I was
Wow.
always gonna be grateful to the United States for
Mm-hmm.
giving me my education, to Georgetown University for
Mm.
managing the scholarship program, and due to the program that I picked, or the major that I picked, which was international trade,
Okay.
I want to be grateful my whole life to Iowa. So they were very
Mm-hmm.
nice to me. So first time for me in this beautiful country. So I was living here for 2 years in Iowa,
Okay.
and after
So
two
kind of
years,
in the middle of nowhere.
and yeah, well, the
Kind of in the middle of
Midwest, you know what I
nowhere.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Great people, man. Let me tell you that people in the Midwest are amazing, especially
Oh, absolutely.
what cities. Davenport, Iowa, all those people are amazing, man. And yeah, so
Yeah.
2006, I went back to Estelí because that was the rule of the program. I went
Okay.
to every single cigar factory looking for a job. Nobody have anything. And my
Okay.
last hope was this little cigar factory that it was called Drew Estate.
Okay.
So that has been, I would say, the 20 years in the making that I have been with Drew Estate. I spent
Wow.
8 years in the factory and the operation side. So I was the
Mm-hmm.
operation manager assistant. I am very happy that you guys uh, have a lot of love and a lot of respect for Nicolas Melillo, the owner of Foundation Cigars.
Yep,
Nicolas was my
he had
boss.
his start there. Yep, he had
Yeah,
his start.
and
A lot of
Nicolas,
great people had his start at Drew
I
Estate.
am
You got
yeah,
Nick, and you got
yeah,
Steve from
yes,
Dunbarton, and yeah,
Dumbarton Twin Trust. So
yeah.
if it was not for Nicolas, I would never be at Drew Estate. So he was the one that gave me the opportunity. So I spent like 2 or 3 years being his assistant in the factory. Then
Nice.
Drew Estate switched my role to be the director and the of Cigar Safari, which is leading the tours of Drew Estate, but learning first thing first from Jonathan, from
Okay.
Steve Saka, from Nicolas Melillo, because the way how we describe things at Drew Estate in the factory is very
Hmm.
different how you should describe to a distributor, to a retailer, to an end
Hmm.
consumer, because it's so much information.
Yeah.
So we talk in technique language. So learning from Jonathan, from Steve, and from Nicholas how they use the right language to communicate and you being more effective of what is the
Hmm.
message that you want to get across.
Yeah.
So I learned from those people for 2 3 years, and then I was doing it by myself. In the meantime, by 2010, Drew Estate gave me the opportunity to be the director of the international sales. So I was
Hmm.
doing that for 3 years. Then God is the best. Jonathan Drew, the founder of Drew Estate, and Drew Estate gave me
Hmm.
the opportunity to come to the United States and work full time for Drew Estate with a work visa.
Hmm.
5 years later, Drew Estate, Jonathan sponsored my green card. 5 years later, I got the opportunity and the biggest privilege of my life,
Yeah.
the citizenship of this beautiful country. So, God bless everybody. And this is my humble story. I will never be here without Drew Estate. Well, first and first, without God,
Yeah. Of
Drew
course,
Estate,
without God.
obviously, everything have to do about your dedication.
Hmm.
Everybody talk about love. Passion goes deeper than love.
Hmm.
Your hard work ethics. How and where do you see yourself? And most importantly, pushing yourself to the fullest.
Yeah.
Because we don't do it, nobody else will.
Of course.
And,
Yeah.
and to me, being from Estelí and talking to you and your audience,
Hmm.
it is a big honor, my friend.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. So, when you were growing up, you said you're from Estelí. So growing up in Estelí, what was your first memories of like tobacco and being around tobacco? Was it something like you were around as a child? Was it something you got into when you were older? Where did that come from?
So basically, thank you so much for asking that. So in Nicaragua, early 2000s,
Okay.
that's when Nicaraguan cigar factories start to popping up in
Yeah.
Esteli.
Yeah.
2007, 2008, that was when there were factories around.
Hmm.
Growing up, I remember every little building, when I saw bicycle outside, we all knew it was a cigar factory.
Okay.
And then obviously the city of Estelí is surrounded by tobacco fields,
Yeah.
endless tobacco fields. So my first exposure to tobacco, that was when my older brother used to work for a cigar company. That cigar company that was called Latin Cigars.
Hmm.
Nowadays, it's a Scandinavian tobacco group. But back in that
Hmm.
day, my older brother, he was a roller. So I
Okay.
remember going to the factory and dropping off his lunch every day in my little
Okay.
bicycle. That was the lunch, that because he was the one working and helping us out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, that's amazing. And then saw a lot of people working, but I mean, life is about decisions, right?
Yeah. Of
So
course.
when
Now,
I
did
was
that?
11, my mom, she said, well, Pedro, it's time for you to work. So I
Yeah.
started to work not in a cigar factory because I was too little. I was 11 years old. So I
Hmm.
was working in a local saddle shop. 10 years later, and start to realize that there were more cigar factories, but I was I was not involved at all in tobacco
Okay.
and nothing like that. I got
Gotcha.
deeply involved when I joined Drew Estate.
Of course.
So I spent X amount of month in the fermentation area, X amount of money in the production floor, in the quality department, and the packaging department, being the translator of what was going on between the United States here in the United States and the guys from the financial office at Drew Estate Factory. So I start to see from A to C
Yep.
how a cigar factory is run. What I didn't know was the factory that I was working for was going to grow so massively and
Hmm.
impressively. So I
Yeah.
got the opportunity to grow within the rhythm of the company. One thing is us having a job in a company that is steady, you're
Yeah.
doing your job good enough. But when the company and the factory is requiring you to work from Sunday to Sunday, from 7 to God knows until what time at night you're gonna end. And a
Hmm.
Sunday and a Monday is the same day. Even your own family say, Rob, yo, I don't even see your face.
Yeah.
We were hustling like it is day one.
Yeah.
And good thing that people that came to Drew Estate early on,
Hmm.
they left a beautiful footprint. And
Yeah.
people that join Drew Estate now, then people that have been joining Drew Estate,
Hmm.
all these people has been shaping what Drew Estate have
Yeah.
become.
Yeah.
So come back to your question. Drew Estate was my school when it comes to tobacco
Nice.
cigar. Yeah.
Nice. So talk about that footprint a little bit. So the factory in Estelí, it's on the hats. You can see it on the hats. It's
Oh
called
man.
La Gran Fabrica. Um,
Yes.
so how did the Drew Estate factory become called La Gran Fabrica? Explain the
Yes.
name
Oh
behind.
man, that's a beautiful question, brother. So, and I'm glad because when it comes to the answer, thank you so very much, Big Alma.
Yeah.
Man, always representing. Thank you so much. So, put it like this: Drew Estate started off in a little kiosk at the World Trade Center Mall in New York City. The
Really?
founder of Drew Estate is Jonathan Drew. He is from Brooklyn, New York. So he started to sell cigars, everybody's cigars from back around that time,
Hmm.
early 90s. And then about mid 90s, Jonathan Drew started to make trips to Nicaragua.
Hmm.
So, and then it was a local cigar maker making his cigar. Obviously, that local is a well established cigar company nowadays. And I'm talking about Nick Perdomo Cigars
Hmm.
or Perdomo Cigars. So,
Yeah.
Nick Perdomo Sr. literally was the person that embraced Jonathan, so a local kid from New York, barely speak English, I mean Spanish, but
Hmm.
he was determined to make something out of that opportunity.
Okay.
So eventually, Jonathan decided to open his little factory, and it was not even called Drew Estate. He just went, rent a house in downtown Estelí, and he started with 6 people. When
Wow.
I joined Drew Estate was renting out 11 different houses. So
Wow.
it took a year when Jonathan found a piece of land at the Oscar of the city of Estelí in the west side. And that's when he decided to buy that piece of land and to build the factory. So the idea was to build not a big factory, but to
Yeah.
build the most beautiful cigar factory.
Hmm.
So La Gran Fábrica, Drew Estate, it is something that we say in a very humble way because dreams are dreams, but dreams could come true.
Of
And
course.
for us and for Jonathan, having Drew Estate Factory, when we moved from those 11 different houses, which was in July 2007, I remember that my first task, they sent me with 12 people to go and clean the floors because it was a lot of dust. And
Yeah.
obviously, once you bring tobacco, that stuff have to be spotless clean.
Hmm.
So we moved over there, and then 4 years later, Drew Estate ended up buying another piece of land across the street where used to be a soccer stadium, a huge piece of land. And then we built Drew Estate 2, which was we did the grand opening in 2012 2015, we built another massive tobacco warehouse right next to it. Nowadays, Drew Estate, we have a cigar factory, an extra cigar factory. Well, another complex outside of the compound of Drew Estate factories. That one is in downtown Estelí. We have
Mhm.
another factory in a town that is an hour away from Estelí, heading to the north, and that one is Somoto. So basically, the growth at Drew Estate has been organically. Uh, we haven't acquired any company
Yep.
whatsoever in the last 29 years. And basically, everything has been launching products, launching premium cigars
Yep.
that people eventually will love,
Yep.
educating end consumers, and reinforcing existing brands. So at Drew
Nice.
Estate, if we launch one brand or maybe two brands a year, no more
Mhm.
than that. It is
Yeah.
because we have to continue with the production of the
Of
existing brand. A good
course.
example,
Yeah.
Acid Cigars, it was launched in 1999. That
Mhm.
cigar has become a monster to Drew Estate. Not
Of course.
because a
Yeah.
lot of people that have tried Drew Estate day one start off with Acid Cigars. It's
Yep.
because the
This is, I know it
people
was my
in
first. It was my
general
first Drew Estate. So
has been, yo, I want to smoke a cigar. What should I smoke? He goes to a retail
yeah.
shop. In the retail shop, oh, try this. You're going to love this
Try
one
the
because you
acid.
are a new
Yeah.
guy. Boop.
Yep.
And that person,
Yep.
boop, smoked this cigar. Maybe he got hooked in that cigar. Maybe it was the right palette. Maybe it was not the cigar. Then that
Yeah.
person moved to something else. So what Acid Cigar has done for the industry, my friends, it has bring new cigar people to
Mhm.
the beautiful thing, what we call the premium cigar culture.
Yep.
So yeah, so
Okay.
come
There we
back
go.
to all
Gotcha.
right, very good. So come back to Big Al question. So how the freestyle life came to be.
Yeah.
So when we were doing those virtual events, so I was hopping in and hopping out from
Mhm.
one virtual event to the next one. So we were doing like three cigar events every day,
Yeah.
from Monday to Saturday or sometimes Sundays.
Mhm.
So Jonathan Drew in one of our marketing meetings, he said, "Hey, if Apple has an Apple Day, we should have a Drew Estate Day because
Okay.
everything was stopped. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and basically, what we ended up doing, we developed the infrastructure of how to launch virtually a cigar line,
Mhm.
starting off with what is the new stuff. So how about if we do it mysteriously with a very mystery way? So we release the mystery cigars,
Yep.
and then on that we added swag, and then top of that we added beautiful prices,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
giving a motorcycle Harley Davidson, giving
Mhm.
a F two four, I mean the pickup truck 250 something like that,
Mhm.
giving a Bitcoin. It's not that the end consumer that want I mean, not the end consumer that buy the mystery cigars for the
Yep.
freestyle life. It's not that they just want something from Drew Estate.
Of course.
We pick their number, is that the retailer that sold that item wins
Okay.
something as game
Yep.
as well. So that's that, and it has been very nice to us because back in the days and still nowadays, when it comes to PCA, everything launched there. Everybody launched their cigar there. We have been 2 years. 2 years
Yep.
ago, we went back to PCA. It was also we were launching Black, our collaboration with Metallica, and it
Metallica.
was great to be back at PCA, man. PCA is a big trade show,
Yep.
and unfortunately, COVID-19 came, and the whole thing got
Mhm.
disrupted. But one thing that I can tell you guys is this, my man, M81
Yeah.
Flying Pig, that's a
Yeah.
very nice one.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
so, so basically, you have to change in a
Yeah.
sense that you have to adapt.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to adapt every day because time is changing. If you're in
Mhm.
any type of business, in any industry, if you don't change, you are going to be left behind.
Yeah.
So during COVID-19, we have a huge demand, not just Drew Estate, huge demand on cigars, but we maximize to the, I don't want to curse. Can I curse? No, no, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can. You're fine.
We maximize this opportunity to the MF top
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Because opportunity like this doesn't come up every day.
Yeah.
And it gave us the opportunity to expand our portfolio of
Yeah.
brands, expand our capacity of production in Nicaragua, and it put us in a beautiful spot
Yeah.
in the industry. And one thing for sure, guys, is not about trying to get to the top. We are not at the top yet, but we are chasing to be in the top because
Yeah.
there's so many great cigars out there.
Yeah.
Starting off with great cigar brands from Dominican Republic, from Honduras, from
Hmm.
Nicaragua. If we are thinking worldwide, great cigar brands from Cuba. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not just one single brand or one single cigar company. It's everybody that is pushing forward and
Yep.
everybody that is doing their best to keep the end consumer happy.
Hmm. Yeah. I thought, and it's funny because I thought, I only really got into cigars heavily probably about 2 years ago. So it was post COVID. And I thought the freestyle live event was the coolest freaking thing that I had ever seen. Like you have all these big Drew Estate names come on the screen. You talk about what's on the market. You talk about all the cool swag that you give away, or the new swag coming out, and then you give away this mystery cigar, and it's your job as the consumer to smoke it, and take your guesses, and figure out what's going to be the next either brand extension or the new lot, the new brand that
Hmm.
Drew Estate's going to be doing. And it was kind of cool because actually this year I actually got it right. So this, with
Oh
the
man.
release of the Nika Rustica shade, I actually was one of the few podcasts that did. So I did my review and I posted it online, and
That's
I
amazing,
had
man.
like I had like three or four choices where I could like choose between, and I ended up choosing the Nika Rustica as the new line, the
My
new
man.
extension. And I thought it was pretty. I think it's a pretty cool thing. And you know what? No other cigar brand is doing something like that, and it's totally innovative, totally new. And I think it's just the coolest thing that Drew Estate is doing with these events, and it gets people interested in the new cigar.
No, man, absolutely, man. Thank you so very much, for your recognition. Everything when it comes to Drew Estate, my friends, everything is about the vision of Jonathan Drew.
Yeah.
Jonathan Drew vision. I mean, the people that have had the opportunity to meet Jonathan. Jonathan
Yeah.
doesn't even look like a cigar man,
No.
but the guy is, his mind goes 120,000 miles per hour.
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
he started off, 29 years ago, what Drew Estate have become,
Yeah.
and him navigating the ship of Drew Estate, it has
Yeah.
been amazing, man. It has been not
Yeah.
just a bless to Jonathan Drew, it has been a bless to all of us that
Yeah.
we have been part of this beautiful journey.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say the Jonathan Drew is a big art guy. And
Yes.
you could see it in the design of the brand labels and the all the merchandise that gets given away, all the swag that gets designed and all that stuff. And especially, so I was at PCA this past April,
Hmm.
and the first thing I saw when you walk in that room is you hear the beatbox music. And I looked around, and I was like, where's the music coming from? And it's the big giant city block sized booth
Yes.
that Drew Estate has, and it had like a second floor to it, and you saw all the reps and all the faces, and you and Izzy and Jonathan were there, and it absolutely blew my mind that you guys had this humongous space that you were working with, like literally a
Yes.
city block worth of space that you had designed for your PCA booth. And it blew my mind. I thought
No,
it
I
was
mean,
like,
so for us, I take it, like I take it very grateful,
yeah.
because how many great cigar brands come to the market and somehow
Hmm.
you just cannot make it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's so many factors, man. I will
Yeah.
say that in life, everything is meant to be when that is destined to be.
Yeah.
You can have the whole business plan on
Yeah.
fucking impeccable.
Yeah.
But if once you are starting something failed, the whole project fell.
Yeah.
because you cannot afford to do it again.
Yeah.
And it is it's very hard. At Drew Estate, we have been very fortunate to have
Yeah.
good people. And when I say good people at Drew Estate Factory, good people that are in charge of different departments here in the United States. A great leadership, because you can have the best of the best. You can have the best
Yeah.
team, but if the leadership and division is not there, Apple will never exist if it was not for Steve Jobs, and if Steve Jobs will never exist if it was not for the team that he put together.
Hmm. Now, with Drew Estate Cigars, you have all these brand lines
Yes.
from you have Liga Privada, Undercrown, Acid, and just it goes on and on. Deadwood. Does it feel kind of separate sometimes, where you have like different families under the same
Mhm.
umbrella, or does it
Yeah.
just feel like one big family there at Drew Estate?
Wow, man, that's an amazing question, bro. One of the challenges that we have been facing in the last 5 years is about what is house of brands of what is branding house,
Okay.
and because we make different type of cigars for
Hmm.
different type of demography,
Yeah.
not just a price level, but I'm talking about even to the flavor level.
Yeah.
So for us, it's about putting a lot of effort, investing big time in beautiful programs such as Cigar Safari, such as the Barn Smoker, such
Hmm.
as Tour de Liga, such as Family Reunion, because everything, when it comes to educating people, there are guys that love acid cigars and they don't know that we make Liga Privada. There
Yep.
are guys that love Liga Privada and they don't know that we make Underground. We
Hmm.
make Herrera Estelí. We make Kentucky Fire Crew. So the idea is to reinforce with beautiful programs,
Yeah.
exciting programs,
Yeah.
entertaining programs that the end consumer, most importantly, secondly, the retailer could easily understand. And the distributor, if we are talking worldwide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of the things about creating that umbrella has been the challenge, and but little by little, step by step, we are making progress, making progress.
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like it would be kind of hard to because they're totally different. Like you were saying, an acid is going to be totally different than a Liga Privada stick.
Right.
So it almost seems like one end of the spectrum to the other, and
Yes.
it seems hard sometimes. But does everybody feel like a big family there, not just like separated into different brand houses?
Oh no, of course, man. Drew Stay, we see each other, like a buddy. One
Yeah.
thing that I love when I joined Drew Stay was the vibe at the
Hmm.
factory. Here in the United States, people see a beautiful vibe through our territorial managers that somehow, and giving them all the right, they are part of the ambassador program at Drew Estate.
Hmm.
Everybody is whoever they want to be as long as we do our job.
Yeah.
And some people at Drew Estate, they like to dress nice and presentable. Other people, we don't follow no trend. We just go and hustle and do what we gotta do,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And for us, yes, we acknowledge every single brand,
That's
because
great.
every brand brings money to the table,
Of
in a
course.
sense that cigars that are moving. You got fans that they go and buy, retailers that go and buy master cases of, let's say, master cases of Deadwood cigars. You
Hmm.
got guys that they go and support the cigar event at the local cigar shop, and that person buys one or two boxes. He buys 10 cigars, maybe 5 cigars. Maybe that person uh, might afford just to have one cigar, but he wants to be there
Hmm.
at supporting the retailer and be with the Drew Estate or whoever is doing the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us, it's about, and come back to your question, Rob. I wanna put cherry on top, which will be keeping the culture of Drew Estate
Yeah.
cigars. Because as soon as you lose your culture, you lose your
Yeah.
identity.
Of
And
course.
that's the toughest thing to build in any industry, in any any company.
Yeah.
Not even talking about cigars when you are
Yeah.
competing with heavy hitters.
Of course. Yep. People have been around for a long time.
Yes. Oh my God, long, long time.
So Drew Estate, I mean, has a massive fan base. Um, how important is community to the brand's success?
Well, community is everything because when it comes to there are different cigar groups online and not even talking about what's going on in cigar lounges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Just
course.
right here, I live in Miami and I got like 10 minute distance, one beautiful cigar lounge. I have another one that is in the opposite direction. You got people that they go and hang out there. So and then you got online communities and
Hmm.
all of them are very important. And the thing I do is how what we can do to hit everybody at the same
Yeah.
time and being acceptant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because guys that love this type of cigar, one thing for sure in the cigar world is that cigar
Hmm.
people are open-minded. They smoke all different type of cigars. They are open to try new things.
Yeah.
It's very different when we are talking, let's say, like pipe tobacco. Somebody
Yeah.
that love pipe, they're gonna be smoking that exclusive blend from that retail shop for decades to come.
Yeah. Now,
So community is big, big.
yeah.
I mean, huge for us.
Yeah.
And one cigar line that we released a couple years ago, we discontinued that cigar line. I think it was like 2 years ago. It was uh, Underground Dogma. It was a
Yeah.
collaboration that we did with Cigar Dojo. We
Hmm.
acknowledge how huge that community is, and we got the opportunity to do that collaboration every year since 2014 until 2023, I believe, or 22, something like that.
Yeah.
But the guys at Cigar Dojo, those guys are amazing, man. You
Yeah.
got this beautiful online lounge that you can log in 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Mm,
Yeah, so community is huge.
yeah. Now, switching gears a little bit, um, we're going to talk about you. Um, so you've become pretty much one of the most recognizable figures in the cigar industry. Not just Drew Estate, but just somebody sees you that's in the cigar industry and they know immediately who you are and who you work for. So, what lessons have you learned on your journey to becoming this huge face, even just for the cigar industry?
Well, my friend, I will tell you this. Growing up in Estelí, I never imagined that I wouldn't have this beautiful platform.
Yeah.
And when you have a platform where you can talk to people and not just talking about you and everything is about what you represent.
Yeah.
It has been something that I never imagined. When I joined Drew Estate, it was about I was so happy to get a job.
Hmm.
Very happy. And when I put my 2 feet inside Drew Estate was I'm gonna give you nothing but the best.
Hmm.
Nothing but the best. What has been my experience, Rob, in almost 20 years at Drew Estate? I always I always do my best to stay humble and
Yeah.
to be grateful
Yeah.
and to appreciate everybody. It doesn't matter who they are and treat everybody with respect.
Hmm.
That has been my mantra. It has been my
Yeah.
belief. It has been my values because when you come from nothing,
Yeah.
the last thing that you want in life is something that
Yeah.
could change you and it could change you for the worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
today you have it, tomorrow you don't.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it has been a bless, man. So for my family, my community in Estelí, Nicaragua, and
Yeah.
it has been amazing, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know me and Al, I've been we just we've been together about a year now, me and
Uh-huh.
Al, in this journey of ours, the Lounge Life podcast. And we have both agreed that, the cigar community is one of the pretty much one of the most amazing communities we've ever belonged to. I mean, the everybody knows everybody.
Yes.
I mean, it's scary how like you could talk to one blend. Where I mean, there was one we were talking with one of the cigar makers, and he's like, yeah. It's funny that you were talking about this guy and this guy because this guy's making my next cigar and this guy
Yes.
is blending my next cigar. And I'm like, that's and you could talk to one guy and he'll be connected to three more and
Oh
it
my
doesn't matter
God.
who you talk to.
Yes.
But it's I'm telling you, I have not met more group of generous, more accepting people in the world than in the cigar industry.
Oh
And
my God, man.
they're some of the coolest, most accepting people that I've ever met, honestly.
That's amazing, man. From my humble experience, Rob,
Yeah.
I will say that let me put it like this. Once you try a cigar that you enjoy,
Mm,
and let's say that you go by yourself
yeah.
and wandering in a walking humidor.
Yeah.
Everything start off with somebody that take you to the journal. You should try this. You should try that. Boom! You right there. You build that connection. You
Yeah.
get your cigar. You go cutting like that cigar. You sit down in the lounge by yourself. You don't know nobody. You are intimidating because you don't know what you are doing. And then there is somebody
Yeah.
say, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, doing good. What do you smoke?" And then from there, bro, a
Yeah.
huge relationship start. You know
Yeah.
somebody, brother, and the cigar culture. You know everybody.
Hmm.
Because if you go abroad, let's say, oh, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go to Jamaica, man. Pray for Jamaican. So I'm gonna
Oh
go to
yeah.
Jamaica. Oh, don't worry about it, man. I got a good buddy right there. He's gonna hook you up.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna
All the
share a cigar.
time.
He's a good
Yeah.
friend. I was like, oh my God, man. It is like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you got people,
Yeah.
not ladies that come in and they love their cigar. They don't feel in an environment that they're gonna be disrespectful. So you got gentlemen that know how to act and keep it
Mm,
very professional, and you got
correct.
people that come and they want to enjoy the cigar, and that's one side of the coin. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you another side of the coin. The other side of the coin is what happened in those countries where those cigars are coming from. That's a
Hmm.
whole different level. Because in Estelí is a small little city. I mean, you will never compare where you guys are based out
So I'm in New Jersey.
in New Jersey. And you, my man?
Yeah.
I am just outside of Memphis, Tennessee.
Beautiful. All right. So you will never compare the size of the city of Estelí to Memphis, Tennessee, or to Newark and New Jersey. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
my city, we got 180,000 people. We know
Yeah.
everybody. Trust me, you go to a local bar, once you have spent a month or 2 months, and instantly
Hmm.
everybody knows you by name. Oh, there is Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Yeah. I can't wait. I
It
can't
is
wait to go to
crazy.
Esteli.
And
Yeah. I can't.
then from the cigar makers,
Yeah.
the respectfulness that we
Yeah.
have to one to another.
Yeah.
You go to a local restaurant, and then there you see, the Garcia family from my father's cigar.
Hmm.
Amazing people. You see the Padron family from Padron Cigar.
Yeah.
Then you see AJ Fernandez. Then you see the guys from Oliva. Then you see the
Yeah.
guys from Joya, Nicaragua. Then you see Steve Saka or Nicolas Medillo, the people from Joya, Nicaragua, having lunch or getting together for a coffee, having a cigar. Bro, when it comes to cigar itself, you got the camaraderie between friends.
Yeah.
It is amazing and hard to explain. And you got the beautiful benefit of the people that work in the tobacco fields, people that
Hmm.
make a living working in the tobacco fields, working in the tobacco factories, in the cigar factories, and not even counting the indirect benefit of commerce that we got in the city of Esteli. So thanks to all of you guys. And right now, Rob and Big All, I want to say thank you guys because you guys are spreading the good word.
We try to.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Absolutely, brother.
So outside of cigar, now you have this infectious just energy about you all the time. And I think that's what makes you such a good face of Drew Estate. Now, where do you find that you get your inspiration from? Like what keeps you up like that? Like what do you like to do?
Well, I always say that life is beautiful
Yeah.
and life is short. So energy, everybody, we all have different type of energy, but I would say it's very important to know where and when and with who
Okay.
are you gonna share your energy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm very energetic person. Maybe I got this one from my mother or my dad. Personality wise, I would say that. But no, man, I would say you have to be grateful. Life, life is what it is.
Yeah.
Life is what you made of. Put
Yeah.
it like that. So
Yeah.
if you get up, every day, my man, big having an amazing time with that Nica Rustica Shea, brought to
Yeah.
you by Drew Estate.
Absolutely.
so, so since life is so short, everything is about, my man, is not about thinking for people to feel your present, because at
Hmm.
some point we're gonna be gone, brother.
Of course.
It's about when we are not there no more, people can feel your absence,
Yeah.
the fact that you are not there. And for me, never imagine that I will have this amazing privilege to be the voice of what's going on at Drew Estate Factory, and
Yeah.
to share the history of Drew Estate, to live through those years, and see Drew Estate through the thick and the thinness.
Yeah.
Because I have seen the white and the dark, because like any
Hmm.
company, I have seen when we almost have been out of business,
Yep.
and it was painful. I was like freaking
Yep.
out. Oh my god, I have to look
Yep.
for another job. I have to go back to the saddle shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And having that privilege, my friend,
Yeah.
I don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Because one thing for sure is this: if you find something that you love,
Yeah.
you gotta give everything, not just
Absolutely.
halfway.
Yeah.
Fuck that. We don't got time for none of that shit. If we're gonna play, we're gonna play to fucking win.
Yep. Of
And
course.
that's the name of the game.
That's awesome. So before we wrap up, we have one more question. Al, do you have anything before?
Well, I I have more of a statement, and but and it probably goes back again to Jonathan.
Yes.
But Drew Estate's swag game is on lock. I mean, it is a number one in the business.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fantastic.
and if I can find one of those graffiti backpacks from a few years ago, I don't care. Well, within reason, I will pay whatever I need to get that on my back.
My man, thank you so
Um,
very much, brother. I'm so happy
it's
to hear that.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Rob.
no, it's fantastic. Like I said, Drew Estate always backs up their products with some of uh the most amazing merchandise that you have at your events. I mean, I don't I mean, whoever's the designer, I mean, I know it's partially Jonathan Drew, it's partially a little bit of everybody else,
Yes.
but you guys, I mean, you guys do such a great job, and I think you're one of the best companies at doing this, is backing up your new products with merchandise to go along with those products. I mean,
Yeah.
because I mean, and I've seen some of the most innovative things. Like
Yes.
for Blackened, I remember you coming out with like the bottle holder. It
Yes.
was like a strapped bottle holder,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think there was one where it had like a little travel speaker, a little mini travel speaker
Yes.
inside. And
Uh-huh.
then, I mean, there's been ones with
The
like
ashtray that looked like the guitar.
the ashtray that looked like the guitar, the battle wagon, the
Yes.
battle wagon ashtray. I mean, you guys have some of the just the
Oh
coolest
man.
stuff when it comes to designing some of this and the product and the merchandise support for
Yeah.
your products. I mean,
Uh,
it's pretty astounding, honestly.
Thank you, man. Thank you so very much. One thing that I would like to add it right there, guys, is this. I do stay, the love and the support that we get from everybody up there.
Yeah.
For people that keep our cigars in their rotation,
Yeah.
the less that we can do is come out with something that they will love to have,
Oh,
or maybe
absolutely.
love to collect.
Yeah.
So a good cigar is a good cigar, but having something that is like me, I like when it comes to drinks, I like jingling, and jingling is a beer that comes from Pennsylvania, and when I
Okay.
have a hat that comes from jingling, oh my God, I wear the hat every day.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep. No,
It's
I totally
ridiculous.
get it. Yeah, I'm a
But
hat guy. So
yeah, it's
if
about in
you
making that it's about Rob is about from Drew Estate in terms of the merchandise. It's about investing the
Mhm,
right resource
mhm.
to make sure that the experience that the end consumer has goes a long way,
Yeah.
because we don't sell swag. We invest and we spend a lot of freaking money on swag, but it's
Mhm.
something that is part of the mix of Drew Estate.
Of course. Now, the final question before we're going to let you go, because I know we've taken up enough of your time, and I know and I don't know where you're flying off to next, but I'm sure tomorrow you're headed somewhere. But what's next for Pedro and Drew Estate? Like, what kind of projects are we looking forward to from you guys? Do we have anything coming out in the end of the year, or are we looking
Mhm.
into 2026 at this point?
Oh, absolutely, Rob. Thank you so very much for asking that. At Drew Estate, we are constantly working. So, the latest release, as Big Al showed it to everybody right here, has been our Nica Rustica Shea. It's
Hmm.
amazing cigar, beautiful value product. We are constantly working for what's going to happen in 2006. We are working what's going to happen in 2007, which are amazing teams, as well as 2006. And we are working in plans that are in the making for what's going to happen in 2018 and 2019. So at the scale of Drew Estate, we have to truly plan ahead of time,
Okay.
and we have to have a beautiful plan that should be executed at the right way, at the right time, by the right team. And so the factory is in full cylinders at Drew Stay. And basically, it's about keeping the torch lit, because we are
Nice.
just started.
Nice, man. And I'm so happy that you guys are looking so far down the road that you guys are already looking at like 2029 for
Yep.
projects already in the works. So that's
Yep.
amazing to hear. And I'm happy that you guys are staying busy because it means I get more cigars. So
My man, absolutely.
yeah. So if you stay on with us after we wrap up, we'd love to just chat with you for a couple minutes
Yeah,
off the air.
absolutely.
So we're just gonna wrap up and then just stay on, don't leave yet.
Hmm. Yep. I'm gonna mute
So
myself. So yes.
all right. So Al, do you have anything to wrap up with or no? Are you good?
I am good. It's been such a pleasure having Pedro on. Very grateful he spent some time with us. And like he said, prayers for Jamaica. And I hope you win the battles that you tell nobody about.
And for me, just remember to check on your friends. They don't always tell you they need help, but check on them anyway. And then just be nice to somebody. Honestly, it doesn't cost any money to be nice. So, this world's already kind of a messed up place. You don't need to add to it. So just be nice. Prayers for Jamaica. Honestly, we're gonna see some not nice things coming out of Jamaica in the next couple weeks. So just remember the people. And if you can help out, please do any way you can. So
Absolutely. Yep.
this has been Rob from the Lounge Life Podcast. That way I have Big Al. Down there, I have Pedro
My
from
man.
Drew Estate. And Pedro, where can before we let you go,
Hmm.
so before we stop filming, where can people find you on your socials, and where can they find Drew Estate?
Hey, thank you, my man. So when it comes to my social media, mine is very easy, breezy, peasy. So Drew Stay Pedro on Instagram, and then on Facebook, it should be Pedro Gomez Rodriguez, because somehow Facebook find out that Pedro Gomez, the old Facebook that I have, it was related to cigar in a company that they asked me to change my name. So
Yeah,
yeah, so Pedro Gomez Rodriguez on Facebook. Drew Estate Pedro on Instagram, Drew Estate Cigars. You can find out Drew Estate Cigars on Instagram, Drew Estate page on Drew Estate Facebook. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, and all those different platforms up there.
fantastic. And you can find Drew Estate cigars at pretty much every fine cigar purveyor in the entire world
Absolutely.
because they're just that damn good. So for now, this has been the Lounge Life Podcast. We will see you guys next time.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.